welcome to the Clicks and Giggles podcast. This is Jordan Rothwell Perry here. And today I want to talk about what you can do for your client or your student or your customer. And even if you have competitors out there, which most of us do, how can you do it better and different than them? And how can you talk about it differently? So I saw on Threads, I love Threads. Let me know if you like Threads too, and we can follow each other on there. Someone just posted, competition doesn't exist when you're in a lane of your own. And that is true. So I just want to encourage you on this episode to keep your head down and show what can you do differently than other people. And so let's talk about transformation. Some people call it the payoff. Some people call it the transformation, the result, right? And if you look up synonyms of transformation, it has overhaul, remaking, revolutionizing, revolution, renewing, revamping. What can you do that can revolutionize something for your client? That is such a good way to look at it. So if I think about a service I need in my life and have in my life in the form of operations help, I do not need to know that you will be in every client's Slack channel off the bat when you're figuring out terms of an agreement. Of course you do. But I don't need to know I will be in every client Slack channel. I will be doing this. We will be using this app. My team does this, that. I want to know that I can go to bed, relax at night, and not go, oh, wait a minute. We need to show the client the second version of graphics. Oof. And then can't sleep, go in my office, make a note, email myself at 1 a.m, etc. I want to know that what's being revamped and revolutionized is that I will not have to worry about that. That I will sleep like a baby, knowing that's taken care of for me. And so I want you to think about if you're selling more of what they get versus how it's transformed, what can you do for others that you've already done so far? So I want you to take a minute and think on past experiences of things that you have helped people with your business that are tangible things to talk about rather than just like a testimonial or a screenshot or whatnot. This could be something you could use as a couple story series on social media. So what can you do for others that you've done so far? So let's look in the evidence bank of, have you done it? Well, yes. And if you haven't yet, if you're new, look for someone else who's done it as evidence. I forget who told me that once, and lots of coaches talk about it. It's like, if you want to do something, but you've never done it, but someone else has, that's the only evidence you need that you can do it as well. So to build up your confidence. So what can you do for others that you've done so far? Okay, so I think about, we've made websites for people, we've done branding, we've done ads, written emails, all that good stuff in the marketing realm. That is such like a tangible of like, here is a deliverable. And so then you have to think about, what did that do for them? They were tired of tinkering around in Squarespace for hours and not knowing what to do. They were tired of being on Google all day. They had a blinking cursor in ChatGPT when they could have been spending time with their family at night. So that is a way that you can look at, an email series that helped them do some automations that followed up with their leads while they were enjoying family time. So I want you to start focusing less on the deliverable, because then once you're in a conversation, you're going to talk about it, but to really hook them in your marketing. So think about that. So I want you can pause me and just write down maybe 3 examples of what you've done for others so far, and figure out how you can talk about that in a way that you can sell more of what they get versus the actual deliverable. So pause me while you ponder that. So then when we're looking at this, I like one of the words here is metamorphosis, change that you can give them, revision, all these good words. What can you do for others that other people can't? Because that's also something to be encouraged in, is that's what sets you apart. And so what is that little it factor you have that others don't? Will you design a room for them, and then rather than putting them in a bind where they have to do it on their own, do you come over and install it for them with them? Do you check in 3 months after? I'm just thinking interior designers because we're working to make our house a home right now. And 3 months later, do you check in and are like, how's it going? Here's an hour of my time to help. What could we do? I think about a organizing service. And if you did some sort of like X amount of hour organization install to then build into the price to come back 90 days later and see how they're doing, holy moly. What can you do that others can't? I love when people talk crap about agencies and all that good stuff because I'm like, wow, I can prove to people that we just aren't like that. And so, what can you do for others that others cannot do or speak to? Are you a House of Color consultant who offers like a 20-minute check-in 45 days later, a month later? I can tell you that there's ways you can up level your service to help with this transformation. And then that's the story we tell, right? How are you different? Oh, it's not, oh, I get your colors done. This is what it does for you. This is the overhaul it will do for your life. And then I also want you to think, why do they need you? And so in all of these questions you're answering, you're also then turning it into, from a marketing perspective, okay, how can I show it? How can I weave this in conversation? And so for me, and my recommendations for you, it's going to be a simple little Google Doc and tell a couple stories. And then those X amount of stories, those are the stories you can talk about on social media. You can plug into an email sequence. You can plug into a one-off email. You can also use that in a service guide or on a sales call and tell that story versus being like, and I'm guilty of it too. I think about on sales calls, I'm like showing the slides, like, here's where we started, here's where we ended. This could be possible for you, versus telling more of the story of like, oh my gosh, I was their 5th ads manager. They thought ads didn't work. I audited the account and this is what happened. Or telling it more from their perspective versus mine of like, we did this, you should hire us. Think about another client example, another account I audited. It's a big, big way I get clients is going in the account, seeing what's happening. One of their ads managers had just set it and forget it. And I was able to show them like, hey, there's more that can be done. Did you know we can do what's called campaigns? We could launch things. We could try different things versus just like, press publish and we're done. And so then I really want you to look at, what have you done for others to give that social proof you can use? What can you do for others that others can't do? And why do people need you? And then find some really clever ways to show it. And that is how you're going to stick out in your marketing and get people's attention as they're scrolling, as they're in their inbox, because it's busy out there in those social media streets and in the inbox. And these are ways you can definitely stick out in a good way. I even think about telling a story through email. What a cool way to brainstorm on each subject line so you can get more opens. Or what about getting some attention on your stories and being like, I was their 5th ads manager. Do you want to hear the rest of the story? Yada, yada. I'm riffing here of some different things, but you could really tease things out and have people be like, the 5th, or they thought ads didn't work. Do you? And that is also how you can get in conversation, is because for every good person at their job, there's probably 10 people out in the industry BSing them. And so I just want to encourage you that you can stand apart, and especially just a good reminder that you can look at what you've done for others so that you can do it again for more people and just tell the story in a good way. Sometimes we get so stuck in our businesses and wrapped up in the day-to-day that we're like, gotta do a story. Oh, need to email my list once a month. But really want to remind you to spend a little bit more time showing them the transformation, because they need to envision that they can have that too, or that it can be easier for them. Like for growing an email list, I have clients who are waking up to 10 new email leads a day, 20, 30, 40, 100, depending on what the budget is and cost per lead, right? they're not having to scramble to post on social media or hope a post goes viral. They're doing their thing. I mean, I'm recording this on a weekend. I know that one of my clients is enjoying her family and her 3 kids while the emails are growing, while people are joining her list for her to hopefully work with one day. And that is priceless. So telling more of that story, and I'm guilty of it. I'll put like a screenshot that week they got 317 new leads at $3 each. That's amazing. And what does that mean for the other person? They're enjoying their family. They've outsourced something that is difficult to them in order to get more time back, which you cannot put a value on time. So, just want to encourage you, think about the transformation. Think about the other person on the side of the screen. I'm like hitting my leg, like passionate about this. And if you need help with it, let me know. We can talk about some ways that I can help you, or if I know anyone in the industry who might be a good fit for you. If you are listening to this in August or September, I want to invite you to a retreat in 30A with Coach Amber B and Jennifer Seiss. I will be there too. You'll be working on creating something new, revamping something you've been working on, a passion project you've put off, getting a way to get it done. And I'll be there to help you figure out, how am I going to get this into the world and into the hands of people who need it? I'll be there for that too. So if any of this has struck a chord, message me 30 and we can talk more and see if you're a good fit for it. But I just want you to focus on the other person, the person on the other side of the screen. I know you may be so passionate about what you do and love it so much, and I love that for you. That will keep you in the game when things get hard. And it's the other person who matters. And that's the one you're going to give that transformation for. And you're going to revamp and renovate and just revolutionize their life with what you can offer them. So I hope this encourages you. I hope this changes the way you talk about what you sell and your offers and the ways you can help your clients. And I'm just cheering you on. Have a good day. I will see you soon.